We're back with another 5-ingredient recipe, and this one might surprise you. We're making an avocado soup. It's creamy and rich and bright, and I bought too many avocados and they all got ripe at the exact same time. And since I've been making soups lately, I've been experimenting with this and I wanted to share with you because it's so different and unique, and it's still 5 ingredients or less. Here's what you need. 2 ripe avocados, 1 cup of sour cream, 1 lime, a bunch of fresh cilantro, and 4 cups of chicken or vegetable stock. Start by scooping out your avocados. Cut them in half, and if you see any unsightly spots, scoop them out with a spoon. And I have to say, I'm kind of happy these are as ripe as they are. I've been using this melon baller for cantaloupe for my kids. Talk about living the good life, getting me to fashion their orange melon into spheres. But it is pretty handy at scooping out avocado spots and even the cores of apples and pears. Just a little tip. It's hard to tell when they're actually ripe aside from a gentle squeeze. There's always this joke about avocados that was like, not ready, not ready, not ready, now, too late. Anyway, remove the pits and spoon the flesh and put them into a bowl or directly into the blender. When it comes to avocados, I always found that praying to the avocado gods helps. I'm just kidding. I bought something like 6 avocados, and after they started to get soft, I popped them into the fridge to slow down the ripening and eventual rotting. Maybe my fridge is the avocado whisperer. I know that there are ways to speed up ripening, like popping them into a brown bag and letting the gas, the ethylene, ripen them, but that still doesn't help me unless I set up a nanny cam inside the bag. If you know of any special ways to ensure ripe avocados, let me know. Once in the blender, add about 50 milliliters of the sour cream or a bit more. It'll all end up in the same place. But this helps mash everything together. Then I'll zest the lime directly into the NutriBullet cup and juice the lime right in. And of course, you can use lemon instead of lime, but I do want to acknowledge that limes really offer a different kind of acid here, and we should really give lime credit. It's slightly tart and sweet, and you can definitely appreciate it when it's in this dish, especially for something as creamy and delicate as avocados. And while I'm not here to gatekeep, guacamole, for example, really shines with lime more so than lemon. I'm just saying. Now, let's set that avocado mixture aside for the moment. Let's add 4 cups of stock to a pot and allow it to warm up, but do not let it boil. You want it just shy of a simmer, hot enough to steam, but not bubbling, or at least very small bubbles. If the soup gets too hot before you add the sour cream, it can break, meaning that the fat separates from the liquid, and that happens around 180 degrees Fahrenheit, so you don't want it to boil, which happens at 212 Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius. So use a food thermometer if you have one, or just keep an eye out. Once your stock is really warm or hot but not boiling, stir in the rest of the sour cream gently until it's mostly incorporated. As you can see, I'm adding the cream and it's mixing together, but it's not fully immersed. I'm kind of wishing that I had an immersion blender right now, but it's still okay. One way to make this a little smoother is take the sour cream out of the fridge sooner. Let it sit on the counter for up to 20 minutes, or at least bring it closer to room temperature. And don't worry if you end up with these little spots of sour cream like I did. They were actually kind of great, like little flavor bombs of coolness in the soup. So either way, it's a win-win, but still worth mentioning so you can learn from my mistakes. Now, slowly add your blended avocado mixture to the pot and keep the heat low. If you have an immersion blender, now is a good time to use it, or just stir it up with a spatula until everything is gently warmed through and smooth. And of course, if you got the time and tenor, scoop it up into a blender and blitz it. I know we all want pretty soup because I hear people say we eat with our eyes, but I mostly, if not exclusively, eat with my mouth, so I'm going to be okay with this spoon mixing. Add a nice pinch of salt. It's always good to salt as you go, and keep mixing for the next few minutes. You can see I'm checking it with a food thermometer to ensure that it's not going to boil. After about 5 or 8 minutes, letting those flavors melt together, cut the heat completely, which has been on low this whole time. Squeeze in some fresh lime juice from half a lime to start, season with a little more salt to taste, and that's your base. The result is smooth, mellow, and just slightly tangy, and it doesn't need anything else but salt. And of course, feel free to give it a little more lime juice. You could get fancy, swirl on some yogurt or sprinkle on some oil, and of course, improvise a crouton with some Gardettos or Chex Mix. Or top it off with pumpkin seeds or something else crunchy. Unexpected, but awesome. Let me know if you try it, and I'll see you in the next one.